There's a moment that happens in conversations, a tiny, almost imperceptible pause, where it's your turn to speak. And in that split second, your mind goes completely, terrifyingly blank. You scramble for a story, an anecdote, a witty observation, anything to fill the space. But all you can hear is the frantic whisper of your own inner critic, saying, "You have nothing to offer. You're boring." You force a smile, maybe ask a question to deflect the attention, and the conversation moves on. No one else notices the silent panic you just survived. But you do. You carry it with you, a quiet, heavy stone in your chest. This is the fear of not being interesting enough. It's not a loud, dramatic anxiety. It's a subtle, corrosive doubt that lives in the background of your social life, quietly convincing you that your presence isn't enough, that you must also be a performance. You must be entertaining, clever, or full of impressive stories just to earn your place at the table. If you've ever felt this, you know it's more than just shyness. It's a deep-seated belief that your authentic, unfiltered self is somehow fundamentally lacking. And here's the quiet tragedy. The more you try to be interesting, the more you hide the very things that make you real. You become a curator of your own life, polishing stories, rehearsing opinions, and presenting a version of yourself that feels safe and acceptable. But you are not connecting. You are auditioning. And auditions are exhausting. You go to a social event and you feel like you're on stage. You monitor every word you say, analyze every reaction from others, and leave feeling drained, not because you interacted with too many people, but because you spent the entire time trying to be someone you're not. This fear doesn't come from nowhere. It's often planted in the soft soil of childhood. Maybe you grew up with a sibling who was louder, funnier, the natural star of the family. And you learned that the only way to get a sliver of the spotlight was to have something extraordinary to say. Maybe your parents only praised your achievements, your good grades, your trophies, your talents. You learned that love and attention were rewards for doing something interesting, not for simply being. So you learned that your quiet presence, your simple observations, your inner world, it wasn't enough. You learned that love wasn't a resting place. It was a stage. And you had to have a good act. As an adult, this old script continues to run in the background. It's why you overthink before a date, scrolling through your own life for interesting facts to share. It's why you stay silent in group meetings, convinced your ideas aren't as brilliant as everyone else's. It's why you feel like an imposter when people do find you engaging, because deep down you think, if only they knew how boring I really am. Social media has poured gasoline on this fire. We are surrounded by the highlight reels of everyone else's lives, their travels, their successes, their perfectly framed moments of joy. And we compare our messy, unedited, behind-the-scenes reality to their finished films. We see their mountaintops and forget they have valleys too. In that comparison, the fear of not being interesting enough grows into a quiet certainty. But here is the paradox, a truth that most people never realize. What truly draws people in, what creates deep and lasting connection, is not how interesting you are, but how real you are. Think about the people you feel most comfortable with. Is it the person who has a long list of impressive accomplishments and perfectly polished stories? Or is it the person who can sit with you in comfortable silence, who admits they don't have it all figured out, who listens with genuine curiosity instead of just waiting for their turn to speak? People don't connect with your performance. They connect with your humanity. Your hesitations, your imperfections, the moments you stumble over your words, these are not flaws to be hidden. They are invitations. They tell the other person, you can be human here, too. You don't have to perform for me. The pressure to be interesting creates a wall. Authenticity creates a bridge. When you're trying so hard to be fascinating, you are not present. Your mind is in the future, planning your next line, or in the past, analyzing your last one. You are not listening to the person in front of you, you are listening to the fear inside of you. And people can feel that. They may not be able to name it, but they sense the distance. So what is the way out of this quiet prison? It's not about becoming more interesting. It's about redefining what interesting even means. We have been taught that interesting is loud, adventurous, and extraordinary. But what if interesting is also quiet? What if interesting is the way you notice small details others miss? What if interesting is the depth of your thoughts, even if you don't share them all? What if interesting is your capacity for kindness, your loyalty, your quiet strength? The first step to healing this fear is to give yourself permission to be boring. Let that sink in. The next time you're in a conversation, release yourself from the pressure of having to entertain. Give yourself permission to just listen. Give yourself permission to say, I don't know. Give yourself permission to have a quiet night in, instead of forcing yourself to go out and collect stories. When you stop trying to be interesting, you create space to just be present. And presence is the most magnetic quality a person can have. When you are truly listening to someone, when you are genuinely curious about their world, you make them feel interesting. And that is a gift people will never forget. They won't remember the witty story you told, but they will remember how you made them feel seen. The fear of not being interesting enough is, at its core, the fear of disconnection. It's the belief that if you show your true, simple self, you will be abandoned. But the truth is, the only person who is abandoning you in those moments is you. You are abandoning your own authenticity for the sake of an imagined approval. The real work is to start choosing yourself, to trust that your presence is enough, to believe that the story of your inner world, with all its quiet moments and simple truths, is a story worth knowing. You don't need to climb a mountain or write a novel to be interesting. You can talk about the book you're reading, the song that made you feel something, the strange dream you had last night. You can talk about your fears and your hopes. That is what people connect with. Not your highlights, but your humanity. So the next time that old fear whispers in your ear, gently answer it back. Tell it, I don't have to be a performance to be worthy of connection. I just have to be here. The people who are meant for you are not looking for a show. They are looking for a soul to connect with. They are not looking for someone who is perfect or polished. They are looking for someone who is real. And the most interesting thing you can ever be in a world full of performances is yourself. Your quiet thoughts, your simple joys, your unspoken feelings, that is where the real story is. Stop hiding it. Let someone read it. Let them see you, because your presence, unfiltered and real, was always the most interesting story you could ever tell.